Arkansas, all sports. It's more sports.
All right, welcome in. Here we go. Razorbacks post-game show. Arkansas knocks off Louisville tonight, 89-80, your final score. Big first half for Arkansas, and then they hold on in the second half and get it done. 9-point victory. Some good performances from the Razorbacks. Trevor Brazile in the first half was really good. He led the way. Darius Acuff down the stretch. The big guys. How about Malik Ewan? I thought he played fantastic. Billy Richmond. Getting after it, some offensive rebounds, some key free throws. Arkansas hit their free throws, took care of the ball for the most part tonight, and it's a quality victory. It's one of those that they really needed to have after losing the first one. Look, no panic for me from losing to Michigan State, which I think is a good team on their home court, and then, of course, Duke, another really good team. And in both of those games, they were in it with a chance to win it, but failed to make the plays down the stretch. And I take a silver lining out of Arkansas's kind of, and it was their offense kind of let them down early in the second half. They weren't scoring as much. Their defense wasn't as good, but Louisville changed up their game plan. And give credit to Louisville and their head coach. They started attacking the basket. In the first half, they were settling for threes, not making those threes. And Arkansas did a good job of guarding the three-point line and making those some difficult three-point shots. But they weren't making them. And some teams will live by the three and die by the three. Louisville, to give their coach credit and the team credit, they weren't going to die by the three tonight. So they started attacking the basket. In the second half, they started scoring a lot easier. And I wrote down some things, 29 total points in the first half. Well, they had 34 at the under 8-minute timeout. I mean, so they had already out in the first 12 minutes of the second half, they scored more points than they did in the first 20 minutes. And that was all because they started attacking the basket. And I'm sure it caught Arkansas off guard a little bit. They were trying to run them off the three-point line. But when they put their head down, that Mikael Brown, that dude, that freshman guard, he's a stud. That guy can go. And he almost willed them all the way back. But Arkansas, Darius Acuff, they started trading baskets, and Louisville couldn't get any stops. Darius Acuff going to the basket time after time. The offensive rebounds. Billy Richmond, huge offensive rebound because they made this, a 5-point game at one point. I think Louisville got all the way down, made it a 5-point game. Malik Thomas had a big basket, a little give and go. He had it up top, gave it off, cut to the basket, gave it right back to him, hit a little floater. That made it a 7-point game. Next possession, Billy Richmond got the offensive rebound. He was fouled on it, hit both free throws. And that took it from that 5-point game to a 9-point game. That was a key moment in that game. You think back to it. I mean, I'm sure you're sweating it. I was sweating it a little bit. I was like, are they going to blow this? I had a buddy texting me saying they're going to choke this away. But Arkansas did make some plays down the stretch. And that Malik Thomas, little runner that hit the front of the rim, back of the rim, falls in, was huge. And then they get a stop, and Billy Richmond gets the offensive rebound, knocks down 2 free throws. It's a 9-point game. And then Brown, Acuff. The last one, Acuff gets the basket and the foul. So that made it a 10-point game. And Arkansas was at the under 4 timeout, back up 8. And Brazile, offensive rebound, put back, didn't make it. Ewan got the offensive rebound, fouled. He made both of his free throws. That made it an 8-point game. So it was a 6-point game at that time at the under 4 timeout. And you remember that under 4 timeout came late at 3 minutes and 35 seconds. So that was another huge play. Once again, an offensive rebound. That's where Arkansas won this game tonight. They won it on the glass, second chance points. They were the more physical team. Did I just say that? Arkansas was the more physical team tonight. And that was good to see. That was probably the best thing we saw tonight, how Arkansas attacked the glass and was the tougher team tonight. After Brazile, McNeely hit that 3. That was huge. And you're like, gosh, just can't put Louisville away. But the Brazile alley-oop from Acuff, that got the crowd going. That gave Arkansas some life, made it a 7-point game again. And then they just started pulling away, got it to double digits before Louisville cut it back to 9 there late at the game. So good win. But my point was, after being in the game against Michigan State, after being in the game against Duke, and then just faltering down the stretch, The silver lining of the Louisville comeback was this made Arkansas work down the stretch. And I know a lot of people were thinking, and I was thinking, oh God, are they about to blow one again and just fall apart in the last 4 minutes? But instead tonight, and I think the difference too, being at home is huge, but they found a way to win a game and then stop the tide. Louisville gets it all the way down to 5 on a couple occasions and pull away and win this one by 9. Pretty comfortable there at the end. So I think that's the silver lining. They have now been tested and come through with a victory down the stretch of a tight ball game or a game that was starting to get a little tight. So this was a learning experience. First half was awesome. And look, chat room is open. If you guys want to comment, I want to get you involved, get your thoughts. We can kind of talk this out and just react to this victory because this is a good victory. It'll move Arkansas up in the rankings. It's going to help their RPI net ranking. And then at the end of the year, when it comes time for Selection Sunday, this is one of those quality wins that will be in Arkansas's favor and hopefully get them a higher seed and an easier path to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, maybe in the Final Four. But that's what you got to start stacking these up. You can't just, go, well, that was a good team, Michigan State, and that was a good team, Duke, and that explains the loss. At some point, to be a good team, you've got to beat other good teams. And that's what they did tonight. Home court advantage was huge. What a great environment, thankfully, at Bud Walton Arena. They showed up for this one and packed the place out. Good to see Coach Silverfield before the game and at halftime. I had a buddy there and he texted me that Silverfield man did a good job at halftime, kept it short, but was very well spoken and did a good job. Saw him with the students before the game. But it created a good environment tonight at Bud Walton Arena. And you know how it is. When Arkansas is at home, it is arguably a 6 to 9 point difference in the game. And I think it paid off tonight. I was honestly very surprised that Arkansas was an underdog at home. It started at 3, and I noticed right before tip-off it had moved all the way to 1.5. I was like, I don't even want the points. I'm going to take money line and take Arkansas outright. They're going to win this game at home. And so I was surprised, honestly surprised, because first of all, Louisville's played one really tough game, good game, and played well. They haven't been as tested as Arkansas. And then I thought with Arkansas being at home, in kind of a desperation mode, it's not lose or die or anything, but they needed this. They needed a victory over a quality opponent. And so I thought we would see a desperate Arkansas team tonight. And in the first half, you did. We can take a look at some of the numbers, see the messages coming in. Let me play those for you real quick. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for getting in here. Sofer says, go Hogs, Wes. Yes, that was awesome. Ed says, I thought that was the best all-around game we played. Yeah, probably so. I mean, not counting the scrimmages. The Cincinnati game was really good. Memphis, when they had the comeback, the last 30 minutes of that game was really good. But, yeah, against an opponent like this, I agree with you, Ed. That's the best performance so far. Randy says, what's up, Randy? We needed that win. Yes, that was awesome to get that, that notch in their belt. Introversion says, Deb Wu Pig Suey. Randy back in says, was scary when TB went down in the first half. Yeah, I wrote that down, Randy. So, and honestly, he wasn't the same after that. Brazil, I got so many notes here. Where was it? Brazil, here it is. Brazil hits the 3. That's his 17th point of the game. That made it 41-22. They were up 19 at that point. And Brazil finished with, here it comes on the ticker. I don't have the box score. We'll go to the box score here in just a second. I think he finished with 21. So he had 4 points after that. And how many threes did he turn down? I don't know if he wasn't feeling it. I don't know. But he looked comfortable shooting the 3 pre-injury. After the injury, he wasn't quite the same. The alley-oop, I was trying to think of his points, the 4 points he had after hurting his ankle. He had the alley-oop, which was huge. The ankle wasn't bothering him too much. Did you see where his head was? I mean, it was right at the rim. I know he's 6'11", but still, his head was right at the rim when he caught that and dunked it and threw it down. Not much of a throwdown when you're that high, right? You just got to drop it in. But no, Brazil awesome in the first half, carried them with 17 points before the injury. And I wrote that down because he hits the three, gets the 17 points. Then Mikael Brown comes down and dunks it on top of Brazil. Fantastic dunk, by the way. That Mikael Brown, dude's a baller. I like him a lot. And Brazil rolled his ankle when he landed, went to the locker room, obviously came back after getting it taped up. And I thought the Billy Richmond dunk right after Mikael Brown dunked it. That kind of re-energized the team and the crowd and kind of sends a message. You know, when you have a guy on your team comes through and dunks on top of Brazil, it just sends a message to the rest of your teammates. It just picks everybody up. Well, then Billy Richmond just comes right down the court through everybody and throws it down and kind of gets that momentum back on Arkansas side and that good feeling over on Arkansas side. But yeah, well, once I saw the replay, I was like, it's a simple roll. It wasn't a high ankle sprain. He just rolled his ankle. He's going to be okay. But it did. It looked scary, and it was kind of scary at first. Pick Randy. He was definitely guarding that ankle the rest of the game. Was surprised when he did dunk on that alley-oop. Yeah, he was probably a little tentative, I'm sure, a little sore. And once you get taped up like that, you just don't have that same mobility. Just you feel kind of restricted, and it does. It impacted him. Ewan played huge. We needed that. We need that effort every game. No, you're definitely right. Best game from Malik Ewan. I think we can all say that hands down. That was his best game. See what Keith says. Keith says if Michigan State or Duke games are at Bud Walton Arena, Hogs win both too. Great resume win. Yeah, I agree with that, Keith. I mean, Michigan State won that game because they were at home. If that was neutral site, I say Arkansas beats Michigan State. Duke, Bud Walton Arena, I think Arkansas won. I mean, Boozer's a dude. Maybe at Bud Walton Arena, he doesn't get away with the hook and holds, all the hooks and all the things that he was doing. Maybe the referees don't let him play as physical at Bud Walton Arena, and they call some of that. But if they let him play, I think Duke might still win the game. That was a pretty good performance. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at some stats real quick. We'll go to the final box score and examine some of the things. I'll share the screen with you, and we can take a look at the final stats. There we go. How's that look? Y'all got a good look at it? Yep. You see, let me get out of the way. I'll take me off the screen. All right. For Arkansas, let's go to the Razorbacks. Well, let's look at the split box real quick. That gives a lot. Percentage-wise, 42-41, pretty close. 28 made baskets, 29. 3-point difference, 33-22. Louisville, 8 of 37. If you look, they were terrible in the first half. I wrote it down. First half, they were 3 of 20 from the 3-point line. Second half, they were much better. 5 of 17 from the 3-point line. And at one point, they were 50%. And in fact, I wrote that down too. They were 4 of 8 at one point from the 3-point line. That was at the under 8 timeout, 4 of 8. So they finished 1 of 9. How about that? They go from 4 of 8 to 1 of 9. And a lot of those were at the end of the game where they were jacking up some threes in desperation. But their shooting percentage was really good in the 3-point from the 3-point line in the second half. Turned out to be just ho-hum. They shoot 8 of 37 for the game. Wow, 22%. Free throws, Arkansas, that was one of the reasons why they won the game. 27 of 35. That is 77%. They shot a ton of free throws in the first half, attacking the basket time after time. Well, I'd say that was pretty even. They shot 17 in the second half, 18 in the first half. So 35 free throws. That's awesome. Make 27 free throws. You're going to win a lot of games. Turnovers, very balanced, 9-10. Points off turnovers. Arkansas wins that battle 14-7. At the half, Arkansas, and I tweeted this out, they were dominant. It was 12-0 at the half. Arkansas led 12-0. Fast break points, they were up 8-0. That was a big difference in the first half. Able to get out on the run and create some points off of turnovers. And then another big margin, rebounds. Arkansas had 18 offensive rebounds. They out-rebounded them by 10. How nice is that to see? 46-36. And look at that. Second chance points, 27-9. Another dominant category. So I would say free throws and second chance points and first half defense. That's why they won that game. Bench points, not a surprise. Arkansas has been doing that to a lot of teams, 39-11. You got to give that's Malik Ewan. That's Malik Thomas. That's Billy Richmond. That's all your points off the bench. Those three guys, 39 points. Points in the paint, actually Louisville, because of the second half and attacking the rim, had more points in the paint. I didn't realize that until I just saw that stat. Let's take a look at Arkansas stats real quick. Take a look at, because they had some impressive numbers. How about Darius Acuff, his first double-double in college, career high, 10 assists, 17 points. Struggled from the field until the end, hit a couple of key layups for Arkansas. He was 6 of 18 from the field. Did not make a three tonight, but I'll take it. 10 assists, scored 17 points. He's responsible for at least 37 points. Don't know if any of those assists led to a three, but you get 10 assists from a freshman guard, he's doing something right. Trevin Brazile, 21 points, just four after the injury. But how about that line? 8 of 11 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. He had 5 rebounds, just 1 turnover, blocked a shot. All of that dunk he blocked. The dunk attempt, that's a highlight. He also had 2 steals. Carter Knox, they got him going early in the game. You could see there was an effort to get him going early. He had a basket, then he hit a three-pointer. And that was early in the game, probably in the first 5-6 minutes. Had 5 points, didn't score after that. He played 21 minutes. DJ Wagner hit a big three. Just 5 points from him. No assists, 1 turnover. Nick Pringle played 22 minutes, had 4 rebounds, had that 1 basket. Need to get a little bit more from Nick Pringle. And there's Malik Thomas. He came in and played good. You know, he's been shooting it. It's been kind of rough. But Malik Thomas finished with 17 points, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He missed his first free throw of the game and then made the next 8. He had 5 rebounds. Malik Ewan, there we go, 12 points. And he missed his final 2 free throws. Did you see the stat? But Malik Ewan hadn't missed all season. And he was a perfect 6 for 6 from the line tonight. And then he missed the next 2. And when he missed the first one, it kind of rattled out. And he looked at it like, what? How did I miss? And then he turned around and missed the next one. 7 offensive rebounds from Malik Ewan. 9 in all. How's the guy? Isn't it weird? You get 7 offensive rebounds and only 2 defensive. It should be easier to get defensive rebounds, right? He's got 9. Look, I'm not complaining. I'll take the 7 offensive rebounds. That was an awesome night. He almost had a double-double. Should have. He's got to get more defensive rebounds. But 12 and 9 from Malik Ewan and Billy Richmond. Steady Eddie. Like, guys, you know, he's going to do something crazy. He had the 2 turnovers, 1 late there at the end when they broke the press. And just, I guess he was going to pass it, and somebody flashed in front of him, and he didn't throw it and tried to stop, and he walked. And he had another careless turnover during the game, but he does so much, so many good things that you got to overlook some of the mistakes, because that's the way he plays, out of control, basically, is what makes him great, but it also creates some issues too. You got to take the good, you got to take the bad with the good with Billy Richmond. But he finished with 10 points, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He's turned into a really good free throw shooter. When he gets to the line, I feel very confident with Billy Richmond there. And I want to feel that way with Malik Thomas. He's too good of a shooter. And when he missed the first one, I'm like, he's got to make his free throws. Well, he did after that and made his next 8. Darius Acuff, 5 of 7. And when his ball hits a rim on the free throw, watch Darius Acuff. Watch him. When he makes a free throw, but it like hits the rim and rattles around, he's like, what am I doing? How come it's – that's how he's just so used to nothing but net. You know, he is so focused that if it does touch any of the rim, he's like, I'm off. What's going on? For Louisville, take a look at their box score real quick. 22 points for Mikael Brown, 7 of 19, high volume shooter, 2 of 13 from the 3-point line. But once he started putting his head down, going to the basket, you saw how dangerous he is. Just a very good freshman. Conwell had 15 for him, 4 of 16. Who was Frew, that the big guy, 7 of 9. He was really about the only one that had a good shooting percentage. Everybody else was pretty much below 500, and Pryor had just a couple shots. Same with Woolley. Woolley got foul trouble. He ended up with 4 fouls, but did not play as much as normal. But pretty good. So that's more than good. That's number 6 team in the country, and Arkansas was able to frustrate them offensively in the first half. Let's get back to some of your comments, and then I'll go to some of my notes. We'll take a look at some of the other parts in the game. See, Randy says Boozer is for sure a dude. I saw he's projected to be the number 3 pick in the NBA draft. So, I mean, for sure, a lottery pick. And if he keeps playing what he's doing, depending on who's drafted number 1, it wouldn't surprise me he's the number 1 overall pick. He's good. Let's go to another one. Ed says, I felt like the intensity that we played defensively in the first half set the tone. We did not give them many easy shots, and it showed with their shooting performance. Louisville's a great shooting team. I agree, Ed. I thought the defense in the first half was outstanding. Hold them to 29 total points in the first half. And second half, they changed their game plan. They started attacking the basket. They got past Arkansas. They started on a little 10-7 run and kind of just gave them a little momentum, and they just started chipping away. And next thing you know, it got single digits, and it's a 6-point game. The Arkansas had to call a timeout. And Billy Wagner came out of that timeout, hit a big 3 from, and that was another assist from Acuff. Let's go to our next one. Randy says Hog fans would be coming unglued if the free throw difference would have been the other way around. Yeah, but let me look at it. First half, they shot, let's see, I wrote this down because it was such a huge disparity, and the free throws were a huge disparity in the first half, but there was a reason why. They had, like I said, 29 points. I'm trying to find my halftime stats. There it is, 47-29. They had taken 23s in the first half. They took 36 total shots. So they took more threes in the first half than they did inside the 3-point line. They were settling for the 3. When you don't attack the basket, you're not going to go to the free throw line. They had 5 free throws in the first half. Second half, you see they started driving to the basket. They were 12 of 13 from the free throw line. They got 13 threes or free throws. Although 3 of them, that McNeely foul, and he went to the free throw line, shot three free throws. I didn't think he got fouled. I don't even think he got touched. And when it happened later in the game with Brown, remember, and Billy Richmond looked at Calipari and was like, I didn't touch him. I didn't foul him. Now, replay may have hit him in the hip with his hip. Couldn't tell. But anyway, now I think about it, 13 free throws, 6 of them came on shooting threes. So they driving in, they only went to the free throw line 7 times. But, yeah, you're right. But Arkansas was the more aggressive team in this for the entire game. First half, they were settling for the 3. Billy is like Corey Beck, a different game. Yeah, okay. Just that energy guy, man. Nonstop, go, go, go. I like this one better. Randy, I agree with you. Richmond is the current Devo Davis on this team, except for he's a little bit taller and he's a little bit more athletic. And Devo is very athletic, but Billy's even more athletic, and he's taller and longer. And so that's why he's able to guard big guards, small forwards. And, we had a discussion. I know Cam Boozer's got a couple inches on him. I wouldn't be afraid of Billy Richmond getting on Boozer. just because of the gnat he is, the harasser he is. Billy Richmond is a guy that can play defense in the NBA right now. I mean, he just gets after you. Razorback 23 was going back to the Corey Beck, says different style game, but same back alley toughness. There you go. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, is that pretty much it? Let me go to my notes and we'll take a look at a couple of things. Arkansas started tonight. Acuff, Wagner, Knox, Brazil, Pringle. Seems like Coach Calipari has settled into that starting rotation. And honestly, I like it because you're bringing in Billy Richmond and Malik Thomas off the bench. And Malik Thomas is instant offense and Billy Richmond is instant energy. And I think that's perfect for coming off the bench. I hope, Pringle, Ewan, either whatever, whichever way they want to go, that one doesn't really bother me. But I love Richmond and Malik Thomas coming off the bench just because of that. Instant offense, instant energy. There are going to be games where Arkansas starts a little flat, boom, Billy Richmond, you're in. Or they start a little slow offensively, boom, put in Malik Thomas, go get a bucket. So I think that right now is a perfect rotation. I hope he settles on that. Arkansas got off to a good start. Knox had those 5 points. Brazil had 4, and Louisville had a couple of turnovers. And you look up, Arkansas had the lead. Then Brazil gets rolling, hit a couple of threes, and he got that basket and a foul. He had 14 points, and Arkansas was up 9 at the second media timeout. Then Thomas came in, hit 5 straight free throws. Not at that point in the game, Arkansas had 10 free throws, 10 of 12 from the free throw line, and Louisville was just 1 for 1. And they had taken, at that point, Louisville had taken 28 shots from the floor. 18 of them were threes. So Arkansas, at this point, this was the last media timeout, and Arkansas was up 12 or 14, 36-22. That's when Brazil came out, hit the 3, then rolled his ankle. Billy Richmond had the dunk, and Arkansas was up 47-29 at the half, 12-0 lead, points off turnovers, 8-0 lead in fast break points, and just a total dominant effort. To be 18, think about that. You're up 18 on the number 6 team in the country at the half. And honestly, I mean, you still had to play in the second half, but that's a big reason why they won this game. What they did in the first half, it gave them a little rope to work with because they, look, Louisville's good. They are. They're a good team, and they made a run. They started playing better in the second half. They hit a couple of threes. They started attacking the basket, and they got the momentum of the game. It looked a little scary, but Arkansas then, down the stretch, made the key plays to put this game away. And a lot of it was that offensive rebound. Ewan, I wrote this down, offensive rebound, put back. Next possession, he had an offensive rebound, and then Arkansas gets it to Malik Thomas. He hits a jumper. They go up 10. So it's a 6-point game. That's when Bully came in. Yeah, Bully made it a 6-point game when he hit that 3, and you get that uneasy feeling. And Ewan, offensive rebound, put back. Next possession, offensive rebound, gets it to Malik Thomas. He hits a jump shot, and it's back to a 10-point lead. And you started feeling a little bit better, but then they make another run. They get it back down to 6 points, and Arkansas once again hits the glass. Billy Richmond, offensive rebound, 2 free throws, gets it to a 9-point game. And then I wrote down, that's when Brown, their freshman, Acuff, Arkansas's freshman, they started just trading baskets. Brown layup, Acuff layup, Brown layup, Acuff layup, and a foul. He makes it still a 10-point lead. And they made one more little run. Arkansas held them off. And once again, it was, I thought, huge. Ewan, offensive rebound, hit both of his free throws, got it back to an 11-point game. That was good. I see some more comments coming in. A good test, really good test. As a fan, I'm sure you would have loved it if Arkansas 47-20, 18-point lead at the half and just kept building on it. And won the game by 25-30. Yes, that's impressive. You blow out the number 6 team. But still, this is a very impressive 9-point win for Arkansas. But I think the lesson, not so much the lesson, just the knowledge of winning a game that was coming down to the wire and making those plays, I think the team is better for that and getting the victory that way than just blowing them out, not even being tested. Like if Louisville would have quit on them, kind of went through the motions, kept jacking up threes, they could just say, "Yeah, it wasn't our night. We couldn't buy a basket." But they kept fighting, started driving to the hole, and chipped away, and made it a game. I think that is what Arkansas can learn from this game, and this experience will make them better because of the way Louisville played in the second half. All right, let's get to some of your comments. Oh, a bunch more coming in. All right, sorry, I was going off on a little tidbit there. Mr. Bloodline says, "Man, Hogs had me nervous for a minute. Ain't gonna lie. Great win. You're not alone. I mean, I did. If you're just joining me, I had a buddy text me and said they're gonna choke. They're gonna choke this away. But you know what? Made some plays down the stretch." He goes on to say that he had to pour some whiskeys to keep my nerves. Yeah, I had to stay away from that tonight. I knew I was going to do a post-game show. Randy says, "Was nice to see Thomas use his drive and his mid-range game and not just depend on the three." Let's see here. What did he end up doing for the night from the three-point line? I know he had the baseline three. Malik Thomas, that was it. He was 1 of 4 from the three-point line. That one three hit when I think it was Acuff that drove, kicked it to the corner to him, knocked it down. That was his only three. So he scored. He got to the free throw line, and like you said, Randy, he used the mid-range game and drove to the basket. Let's go to Brad. Brad says they definitely took some things away from that Duke game. Cal scheduled this non-conference schedule for a purpose. No doubt about it. We talked about this a lot with Coach Zimmerman. Matt Zimmerman comes on Out of Bounds and is like, coach schedules to his team. He said, that's all you need to know what he thinks of this team. When you have the non-conference of playing a Duke, Michigan State, Louisville, Houston, who else is coming up? Texas Tech. You don't have to schedule those. You want to schedule a couple just so your team's ready for SEC play, but you don't have to schedule that many. But he feels good about this team, wants to get them tested, but also you play those games, you win some of those games. That's more credit you're going to get when it comes selection time. It's going to help your net ranking and help you get a higher seed. And so hopefully you can make a longer run in the NCAA tournament. So, yeah, he knows what he has, and he did this on purpose. And I still think there's some of the things he's doing on purpose just to figure out, to test these guys. I mean, for example, Boozer on Brazil or Brazil on Boozer. Brazil's not a good defender. I mean, for everything, I hate talking bad about him on the night where he played so well and he injured his ankle, but Brazil can't guard Boozer. Anybody who's watching that game knows that. He's not physical enough. He's not quick enough. It's a terrible matchup. Why did Cal keep doing that? Why didn't he throw a double team at Boozer? Why didn't he put somebody else on Boozer? Anybody. I think there's a method to his madness. And I think he was sending a message to Brazil, dude, you've got to get tougher. You're going to have to play defense for us to win. If you can't play defense, we're going to have problems. So I still think some of the things he does in these non-conference games, there's a message behind it. Yeah, it was good to see Ewing going. That's huge. I mean, he's going to be like, last year when Arkansas's bigs started playing well down the stretch, that's when they played their best. If they can get Ewing playing like that, night in and night out, that's going to be when Arkansas is clicking. Brad says, given their number 2 offensive efficiency, this was a huge win. Yeah, I just wish they could have kept playing defense like they did in the first half. But, you're not going to hold a Louisville to 29 and 29, 58 points. What did they say during the telecast? Cincinnati held them to 70, was it 79? And that was the fewest amount of points they had scored this season. They scored 80. And they had a big second half. I mean, to hold them to 29 in the first half, and then in the second half they scored 51. I mean, that shows you a little bit about Louisville and how explosive they are. Scored 51 second half points. Next comment says, pretty bad that we not only had to beat Louisville, but also had to beat the dang refs. It was 2-on-1. I didn't think the refs were bad. I mean, there was a couple missed calls here or there, like I was questioning the fouls on the 3-point shooters, but Arkansas got one of those earlier in the game, and it looked like, who was that? Was it Malik Thomas? No, who was it? I can't remember who was fouled shooting the three, but it was like it looked like he just fell, may have touched his foot. I don't like the. To me, if you're a 3-point shooter, you should fall to the ground every time because you're going to get the call. Randy says finding a way to win, keep the lead and win will be huge down the road. I agree, Randy. I think it pays dividends later on in the season. Brad says this had shades of the Texas Tech game last year, and they faced this same type of adversity against Duke. They're learning to close out games. Yeah, I didn't even think about the Texas Tech game last year. Let's see here. Danny says, thought you were going to put the picture in the background. Oh, my Mitch Petrus. No, I am. I just don't know when. I haven't really thought about it. I really haven't had time to, because if I'm going to hang it, I'm going to hang it right, and it's massive, like it's big. I'm going to have to secure it in a very nice way. I'd hate for it to fall and break or fall during the middle of the show. But yeah, I'm going to put the Mitch Petrus jersey up at some point. It'll be hanging right here. I'll take down all the bobbleheads. That's Calipari and Musselman and a Texas Ranger. I think that's Beltray and a Hog, Razorback, a couple stadiums back there. That's Arlington Stadium, the old Texas Stadium. And then you can see the helmets, A-State and the Razorbacks and Cowboys. But yeah, I'm going to change it out at some point. I just haven't decided when. Got to honor Mitch. Great way to remember him. Next comment. I think our young players let that lead get to their head and started getting sloppy and playing blacktop ball. Thank God Cal called a timeout and got them settled down. Yeah, they started the second half a little sluggish. Let me go to my notes real quick. Second half, Louisville starts on a 10-7 run. Arkansas called a timeout. They still led 62-50, so they're still up 12 after leading by 18, but they had chipped away a third of that lead. Brown hit a big shot. Oh, as the shot clock expired. Yeah, that was rough. They played really good defense. I think that was coming straight out of the timeout. And, they got after him. Brown, out of desperation from like 25 feet with a hand in his face, nothing but net. And that's when I first got nervous. I was like, if they're going to start making shots like that, you're in trouble. But you know what happened after that? Oh, DJ missed 2 free throws. And I was really like, oh, God, they're going to blow this thing. And Bully hits that 3, and because he caught it in the corner, faked, got the guy to fly by, took a sidestep to the right, buries the 3. It's a 6-point game. The next play, our guy, Malik Ewing, that we've been praising all night, offensive rebound, put back. Next possession, they get a stop. Offensive rebound from Ewing, gets it to Malik Thomas. He hits the jumper, and it's back to a 10-point game. Malik Ewing, back-to-back possessions, back-to-back offensive rebounds, 4 points, and you take it from a 6-point game. They've got all the momentum. They're starting to feel it. Arkansas back-to-back baskets. It's a double-digit game again. That's your key moment of the game right there. That's when we were all sweating. They hit a 3. As the shot clock's going down, DJ misses 2 free throws, and he's a good free throw shooter. Bully hits the 3. 6-point game. It's a 2-possession game. Back-to-back possessions. Ewing, offensive rebound, put back. Next possession, offensive rebound. Gets it to Malik Thomas, the jumper. 10-point game. Timeout. When we come back, and then that's when Brazil had the big block on the dunk. That's when I wrote down. So at the under 8-minute timeout, they got it back from 10-7. Louisville at that point was 4 of 8 from the 3-point line. So they struggled in the first half, started going inside, opens up the 3, took good threes. They were 4 of 8 from the 3-point line. Man, the more I think about it, Ewing saved their tail tonight. He made key plays, and came up big in the biggest moment of the game. Not offensive rebounds. I mean, once again, go back to it. Let me pull up the stats. Arkansas had 46 rebounds to their 36. Out-rebounded them by 10. And on offensive rebounds, Arkansas had 18. They had 12. That led to 27 second chance points for Arkansas to 9. They had 18 more second chance points. Huge. It's so big. Offensive rebounding. Real quick, you see the Gwatney Buick GMC up there? They're a big part of the show. They make this happen. Big thanks to Gwatney Buick GMC for believing in me when I got this thing started. And look, we started with not much. And now we're up over 1,200 subscribers. We had a video that's almost at 8,000 views last week. I had another one. Look, they helped me get off the ground. And so I owe a lot to Gwatney Buick GMC. If you're ever considering buying a car, truck, SUV, please check out Gwatney Buick GMC. They're in North Little Rock. They're easy to get to. They're in North Little Rock next to Sam's Club, 5700 Landers Road. You can give them a call at 945-4444. Go to their website, GwatneyBuickGMC.com. You can see all the vehicles that they have there. You can see all the deals that they've got. They had a great November. Black Friday was great. Now they're getting ready for Christmas. Thinking about that? Great Christmas present. Or end of the year, need a tax write-off. Give my friends at Gwatney Buick GMC a chance, because they've given me a chance, basically. They believed in me and enabled me to do this. So I'd really appreciate if you would give them a shot. Go check them out. Look, tell them you see what they're doing for the show, and you want to go visit them and take a look at what they have. They're gonna end the year with a bang. I guarantee you that. They're making some deals. They want to finish strong on the year. So give them a shot. Gwatney Buick GMC. GMC, they are professional grade. So big thank you to Gwatney Buick GMC. All right, let me check the comments. We got anything else? I think we just got about wrapped it up. Randy says Ewan was definitely the MVP of the second half. You know what? Numbers probably don't lie. Second half, let's see, Ewan ended up with 12 points, 9 rebounds. Let me see what he did in the second half. I can go to the second half box score for both teams. Look, you probably want to look at it. I can share that with you. We can look at that together. Okay, there we go. Share. Second half box score. Acuff had 11, 4 of 10 from the field, missed both his threes. Brazil 4, Wagner 5, Pringle 2, Malik Thomas had 6. Look at there, 10 points from Malik Ewan. Made both his field goals, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, missed his last 2. Wish he'd hit those 2. 7 rebounds in the second half. You're exactly right. Look, Acuff had 11 points, 4 assists. That's awesome. He played really well also in the second half. But Ewan, with those offensive rebounds, key moments, with 10 points, 7 rebounds. And what did we say for the game he had? 9 rebounds and 6 offensive. Was it 6 offensive rebounds? Where's Ewan? 9 rebounds and all. So, yeah, he had 7 of his 9 in the second half. Man, I think you're on to it. I think you're right. Trevor Brazil, first half MVP. And we look at the first half numbers. Trevor Brazil, 17 points in the first half. Malik Thomas had a good first half. 11, went to the free throw line. 8 of 9 from the free throw line. It was Thomas that was fouled shooting the 3. Because I remember writing down he made 3 straight free throws. So those 2 led the way. Isn't it kind of funny how first half, big, freshman guard, combined for 28 points. Second half, big, freshman guard, Acuff 11, Ewan 10, combined for 21. In fact, let me look at that, what the bigs did for Arkansas tonight. When you combine Brazil's numbers, 21 and 5, with Ewan, 12 and 9, was that 33 and 14? I'll take that out of those 2 spots. That's huge. That was a good night from the Vigs. And I got to give Matt Zimmerman credit. He was on the buzz yesterday, and he said for Arkansas to win this game, their bigs had to play well because he thought the guard matchup was going to be pretty even because Louisville's guards are so good. And it was. I mean, it was pretty even. It was Arkansas's bigs. They were the difference in the game. So tip of the cap to Coach Z. He nailed it for Arkansas to win this game. Guards had to come up big, or the bigs had to come up big, and they did tonight. You can take one more. We'll get out of here. I'll let y'all go. What time is it? 9:25. Mr. Bloodline says, where do you think the Razorbacks will be ranked after this? See, what were they? 20, what was it? 25, something like that. Got Fresno State Saturday. Can't have a letdown. I don't know anything about Fresno State. I can Google them real quick and see what kind of a season they're off to. And Arkansas typically doesn't play well at Verizon Arena. They have struggled there over the years and played a lot of close games. So it wouldn't surprise me if they play another close game Saturday. But look, you got to win that game. Let's see here. Oh, Fresno State is 5-2, 6-3. They're 6-3 overall. Here, y'all want to look at this? I hate just doing that, and you're staring at me. Where you could look at the Fresno State schedule, and we can go over it together. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Hope that doesn't mess anything up. Sorry, that's just a rookie error. Fresno State beat Fresno Pacific, USC Upstate. No, they lost to USC Upstate. Are these scrimmages maybe? Anyway, beat Long Beach State 82-62. Lost to San Diego, UC San Diego by 5. Beat Utah Valley by 1. Beat Stephen F. Austin by 2. They're usually pretty good. They beat New Orleans by 9. Beat Pepperdine by 23. Cal State Bakersfield, they just came off playing them Sunday, and they lost 76-71. So, yeah, they better beat Fresno State. They ought to wax them. But I know how it's been in the past at Verizon Arena. Probably be a big line. Arkansas favored to win by 20 or so, and they'll win by 12. There you go. Make you a little money. Take the other team in the points in this one. Ricky says, nice to get a win against the top 10 team after 2 losses. You're right, Ricky. That was much needed. And Louisville was way overrated. Still a good win. And I'll agree with that. I don't know that they're number 6 in the country. I think they're a top 15 team. I mean, okay, what do y'all think? Duke's better, right? No doubt. Duke's better than Louisville. And when they were talking about on the telecast tonight that Louisville's going to give Duke a run in the ACC, I was like, how? I don't know about that. I think Duke's a better team. Although, Duke's weakness is their guards. Louisville may be able to exploit them. And they have enough bangers maybe to play. I don't see that they'd stop Boozer. No, Duke's better than Louisville. I think Michigan State's better than Louisville. I was impressed with Michigan State. I liked watching them. They were underrated. Michigan State's better than what they were ranked when Arkansas played them, but now they're being rewarded, and they're ranked probably where they are. But I agree. They're overrated. I don't know that they're way overrated. I'd put them in the top 15, but I definitely wouldn't say 6. They won't be 6 anymore. Ricky says, for selfish reasons, let's just claim Louisville is better than Duke. Nah, let's don't lie to ourselves. Let's just be honest. It's a good team. They're a top 25 team. Arkansas beat them at home. And if they'd have played a little better in the second half, it would have been a double-digit victory. But I'll take an 89-80 win. All right, coming up tomorrow, we are going to have Thomas Thrash. We're going to preview the state championship games and the 4 games in 4A and 3A combined. Got the semifinals going on in 4A and 3A, so we're going to talk about that. And Raleigh Williams, this will be good. Raleigh is an agent in sports. He used to be an agent for players, and he's kind of got away with that, and he's doing a lot of marketing deals for guys, but he's down in Dallas. He was following the coaching search intently, and he's got some thoughts on the coaching search itself, Silverfield, signing day. So Raleigh is a great interview. Always has a lot of opinions. A very smart guy when you look at the business aspect of things. So I think he'll be a lot of fun tomorrow night. So be sure to join us tomorrow night about 6:30, and we'll get you in, get you out before the Cowboys game. Cowboys and Lions tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Or if you're wanting to watch the 8-man state championship game, I'll be out at the 8-man state championship game tomorrow night at War Memorial Stadium, and then all weekend, or Friday and Saturday, at War Memorial Stadium for the 2 games on Friday and 2 games on Saturday. So we'll be back out here tomorrow night with Raleigh Williams and then Thomas Thrash. So I hope you can join us. If you like this video, be sure to remember to hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed on YouTube. That helps the channel grow and helps spread the word about more sports. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hogs win. Great night. It's going to be fun to talk about it tomorrow on The Buzz. Join me again then, and then join me tomorrow night for more sports.
All Arkansas, all sports. It's more sports.